Hey everyone, it's been a while since I've done a WIP N Chat. What is a WIP? It is a work in progress. Basically, what I do is I talk, I chit chat, I let you in on a little bit of family secrets and giggles, and you work and lurk. You pick out your crafting, whether it's knitting or crocheting or whether it's diamond painting. You just enjoy the ride. I hope you have lots of fun because I did. I'll see you in just a minute. Hey everybody, welcome. This is my first WIP N Chat in a while. So I apologize if I am a bit rusty. You might be wondering, what in the world am I working on? I'm actually working on a Craftibly. Let me just kind of make a lot of noise as I grab it for you and show you the picture. So this is the picture. It's a rainbow tree, and it's turning out absolutely gorgeous. Let me put the plastic down just so that, and I'll move you back. So yes, it is turning out amazing. It's beautiful. The sparkle is phenomenal with the drills that they're using. I'm just choosing, instead of reaching really far, I'm just turning my canvas upside down so I can work on this top corner. And I've been working on this a lot. Please check out the description down below. Craftibly has signed on some amazing new licensed artists, and you will be floored to see them, especially some Christmas ones coming up, some dragon ones. I can't wait. They're waiting for their new shipment to come in. Please go check them out. And it always helps to have a little bit of a discount. So I do have 15% off for you down in the description if you use the code DP Addiction Adventures, all one word. Although I am warning you that if you are watching this video and that code no longer works, I am trying to get it changed to DP Gen 15. So I would try the DP Addiction Adventures first. If that does not work, go ahead and try DP Gen 15. And I'm trying to get it shorter, because I don't know, my brain is not remembering a lot right now. And so sometimes the shorter, the better. I'm working on Y's right now. 894, and I'm loving my JH Envision tray, DP Addiction. I have another one over here because if you guys know me, you know I love teal and aqua. So this one says DP Addict Adventures, but I liked the DP Addiction better. There's a little inside joke behind that. I guess there's a rated X meaning for DP, and I'm too innocent to know that. So that's why we're sticking with DP. Stands for diamond painting. And I wondered why the coach of my daughter's soccer team thought when I logged on to Zoom and it had defaulted to DP Addiction Adventures, he said, "Well, that's interesting." Didn't think anything of it until I was enlightened one night. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. And then I started thinking, well, why would he know? So it's funny. Speaking of soccer, my daughter tried out for this summer league and she made the starting team, which I am so happy for her. However, this means I'm going to be traveling a lot. It's a travel team that she's already on, but this is a step up. And I guess I live in West Michigan, and I guess this team goes, to Ohio, to Indiana, and around the state. And it's like a weekend, so it's almost, even though it might be 3 different teams, and it's league play versus tournament, it feels like a tournament. because they're playing back-to-back games. So that'll be interesting this summer, but I'm taking my diamond painting with me. Can you see me on the side of the field? I just meant at the hotel. But, yeah. So I need to find some good snack-sized pieces to take with me and do in the hotel room. I have a feeling some of them I might be doing solo because my husband works Sundays and he can get days off. It's just he won't be able to get every Sunday off. And it's a pretty intense 6 to 8 week journey. Excuse me. Back when I used to do WIP N Chats all the time, I considered myself the yawn queen. Most of these WIP N Chats are done in the middle of the night, which is why sometimes they get a little crazy. And why is that? Because I'm a night owl. I allow myself Friday and Saturday night, unless I have something early Sunday morning or Saturday morning, I allow myself to stay up as late as my body wants me. Now that my daughter is 13 and finally starting to sleep in, she used to wake up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, even on the weekends. And Bunny Trail, we had to finally tell her, look, here's the clock in your room, and we put little dots next to where the hands needed to be, and you're not allowed to go out of your room unless you have to go to the bathroom, but then you have to go back until it hits a certain time. I think we set like 7:30 or something like that when she was really little, because we would get up with her on the weekends. And then as she got older, 5, 6 older, then we set it for 7, so she didn't feel, trapped in her room. We had a dog, we had stairs, we had, and here she is, like 4, coming into our room. I'm wide awake, I'm ready, I want to watch cartoons, and oh my goodness, it's like, seriously? And no matter what we did, if we kept her up late, it didn't matter. Her body automatically woke up. Well, today, she actually slept until 10:30. She's 13. She's a teenager. She's like, Mom, I was tired. I slept in. I'm like, I don't blame you. So I usually sleep in, stay up as late as I want, which usually ends up being 2 or 3 in the morning. And I sleep until 10. So I'm not sleeping the whole day away. And I get up, I get my coffee, see how she's doing. On Sundays, I'll usually come down here on my craft area and diamond paint with my coffee, because she'll be watching TV and I'll be half asleep. And yeah, so that's our routine. And so anyway, back to the first story. I am a night owl, and my husband used to go to bed around 11, like into the bedroom on the weekends. And that would give me from like 11 to midnight to do a video or, chat up or feel like I'm not taking away from the family. But now, ever since he got sick and wants to be around us, which is great, he now falls, well, I shouldn't say that. Back the train up. Ever since we got new furniture down here that he loves, he now falls asleep on the couch. And you guys have laughed before in my WIP N Chats because you've heard him snoring in the background. So now he stays down here and he snores and sleeps and watches his HGTV, which is his right. And it just feels awkward because I already have to get into a headspace of talking to myself, but not talking to myself. And it's just like he's sitting there, he's snoring, the TV's on, and I just stopped doing WIP N Chats because I couldn't during the day because I didn't want to bother. My craft area is in the family room, so if somebody's doing a puzzle, playing a game, watching TV, I can't really record except for short things because it just, I don't know. it's just awkward for me. So tonight, I'm like, honey, you're snoring. Can you please go upstairs and get into the bed? Because I'd like to do a WIP N Chat. And he's like, you can do a WIP N Chat with me here. Like, I know, you support, you're amazing. And it's not like I say anything on these WIP N Chats I wouldn't say to him. And, you know, I'm just like, it's just awkward. It's not relaxing. I always feel like I'm on guard. And sometimes he corrects me. And I get it sometimes, but you don't need to correct me. Like, I might say, yeah, we arrived around 8:30. And he's like, it was more like 9. I'm like, oh my goodness. It's not like it changes the story. And it's not like I'm purposely lying. So we'll see. This part drives me crazy because I see this is Y and I see all these Y's here. And I'm at the point of, do I just do all the Y's and get it over with? Usually by this point, I'm thinking to myself, just get her done. But but there's still a lot of sticky here and I don't want to put my arm in it. So yeah, I know the struggle is real. So these trays, I've learned the best way for me is to put them all down on the side that doesn't have the grid and then pour, because in the past, because they're square, sometimes this top part will jump out like little jumping beans. They're like, escape, and you're like, don't escape. Don't jump ship. I can't save you if you jump ship. How do you guys pick out your next symbol? I usually try to look and go, what symbol is like yelling at me? Like that's all I can see. But sometimes it's a lot of symbols doing that. And for somebody who doesn't like to make decisions, it can be, whew. But I'm picking X's. So here we go. And I love my Everlasting Tips. I have a 4-placer. And this is the new single placer. And what would you know, as soon as I purchased this, which actually I'm going to unenvelope something in front of you. Forgive my squeaky chair. Let me see where it's at. So I love it. Everlasting Tips, Nicole. And she sends these from Australia. And I love this little envelope. Thank you so much, Nicole. You can find these on Etsy. And look, she sends little stickers. Now, I did cut this open because one of these things I purchased in here was for a Secret Santa. And so I had to open it. So she has a 2-placer, a 3-placer, a 4-placer, a 6-placer, and a straightener. I'm in love with the 4-placer. I just do that. And the reason is sometimes I can do 3 or 2, depending on how I angle it. As soon as I purchased these, waited for them to come. You can find these on Etsy. She came out with a new tip. And I'm like, ugh. What are you doing to me, Nicole? Oh my goodness. She also has actual, I call them baby tips. So they're the ones that you can replace this brass part with stainless steel. And I do have a couple of those. I did do an unboxing where I bought a 4-placer and it came with it. You purchased it as a little kit. So you got a 4-placer and a single placer. And then she shows you how to pull it out with pliers, and then you put that back in. So I do have a couple of those, and I think, yeah. So I replaced, like this is the brass. You can tell it's got a little bit of yellow to it. And then this is the stainless steel. So I want to make sure I keep track of this because you don't want to just throw this out, because these are a bit pricey as far as this was free and this you had to pay for. However, she has reasonable prices. Love it. So yes, but because I fell in love, she came out with the 4-placer, and then instead of just that, she came out with this, which sticks into your pen. And so I have 2 of these and 2 of these. And I have 2 of these, but I have to find where the other one is. It's on a pen somewhere. I just need to find which pen it's on. I lost track of where it went. So anyway, I purchased from her, and I got a 4-pack of 4-placers, but I sent one of them to my Secret Santa, and I got a 4-pack of these because I'm absolutely in love with these. And like I said, then she came out with an angled one. So Nicole, if you're watching this, I'd love to help you show off your angled one for you. I'll pay for it, I promise. So yes, so I purchased these, and I'm excited. And people used this at the retreat. I have to redo this one. Sometimes you have to put washi tape around just because the pens are all different. So she makes the tips standard, they're stainless steel, but the pens themselves are different. So you put washi tape around, and then it sticks nice and snug in there, and it's not going to come out. However, some of the pens are not, whoever makes these didn't go deep enough with the cutting inside. I don't know if it's the fear of cracking the acrylic or whatnot, so you may have a little bit of stick out, but it doesn't change how it works. Absolutely love it. And when I went to the retreat, people were using them, and they loved it as well. So I'll put a link down below. It's worth it for yourself for a Christmas gift, or tell your husband or your wife, your girlfriend or boyfriend to get it for you for a stocking stuffer. Send the link to your parents. Just say, hey, you need to get this for me, because during this COVID time and isolation, I need the best tools possible so I can have fun. I need to put more wax in this. Right now, I'm just using the wax that comes with your kit standard. I need to clean the tips out so that I can put the Not Your Mama's Mud or Patty Wax Super Sticky. I need to get the micro dots. I just need to order them. I was hoping, I told my parents potentially I wanted it for a stocking stuffer. You know, so I don't know. I don't want to purchase them if I'm going to get them for Christmas, because you get a lot in a pack, and I don't want to drown in micro dots. I will say, one of my good friends, Crashly, you guys probably know her. It was hilarious on our live. She was so excited, and I love seeing her excitement. She had gotten glue dots, and they were the flat kind, and she was having so much trouble. I felt so bad. I'm like, well, no wonder you're having trouble, because they're the wrong type. Try to get a flat piece of sticky plastic into a 3D round tip. It's not good. You're not going to get anywhere with it. Oh my goodness. So I have a funny story to tell you guys. I wanted to tell you a while ago. It happened the weekend of my daughter's birthday when my folks were in town, but I haven't been able to chit chat with you. So that was the whole reason I jumped on board. I forgot to tell you why I yawn. I yawn all the time when it's past a certain time of night. So just get used to it. There's a couple WIP N Chats that I joked about having a yawn counter on how many times I yawn. Don't know if there's not enough oxygen getting to my brain because I'm full of hot air and I'm talking and tired. Who knows? So back to the story. My brother and sister, well, it's my sister and brother-in-law, and her 3 children, and my mother and my dad and my grandmother came for my daughter's birthday back in October. My husband's parents were there also day of because they live within an hour distance, so they were not spending the night. And so we had a pretty full house. We were all really careful. We're all homebodies right now, introverts working from home. And my husband's brother and sister-in-law their son had been exposed to COVID at school, and so they were unable to come, and that was really sad because their son is like a son to us and like a brother to my daughter. Anyway, what does this all mean? What this means is we had a very full day. My daughter had a great birthday. She was turning 13. We made it memorable. And then my sister and brother-in-law left with their kids. My husband's parents left. And we were in that breathe, everyone crashing, cake coma kind of feel. I had taken a nap. I came out. It was like 8 o'clock at night. It was dark here in Michigan at that time. And my mom gets up to head to the kitchen. We're sitting in the living room. And as she walks across the room, she picks up this shiny packet, this, 2x2 shiny packet. And she lays it on the couch armrest, which is where my husband was sitting. So if you picture our living room, I don't know how this goes. So here's where I was sitting in a chair, a big comfy chair. She's sitting in a big comfy chair here. And our couch is right here, and my husband was sitting here. My dad had already gone upstairs to the guest room for bed. So she gets up out of this chair, walks diagonally across the room to get to the dining room to get to the kitchen. She picks up this shiny packet and puts it on the armrest next to my husband, who looks down at it in shock. And my mom goes, this must be yours. And he looks down at it, and it is a foil packet, a condom. And my husband was like, no, that is not mine. And OMG, I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? And my husband held it up, and that's when I could see what it was. But nobody was going to say what it was. And my daughter was already in bed. My dad was in bed. And my mom was like, well, whose else would it be? And I'm like, well, it's not ours because TMI, I'm allergic to most of what they use. And so that's not our birth control option. So it's not ours. And I was like, oh my gosh. So my mom gets water. My husband and I are like, what the heck? And I'm like, it's my sister's. And why would my sister bring a condom to my house? I don't know. And so when my mom came back in the room, I was like, Mom, you should text my sister. I said her name, of course. And I was like, you should text her and send her a picture and ask her if she left something behind. So my mom does that. And in the morning, I hear this roaring laughter. And I come out of the bedroom, and my mom had gotten a call from my sister, who was mortified. And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. That's ours. And I don't know the reason she had it, but I guess she had it like in her purse, and when she was pulling a tissue out or keys or something, it had fallen out. And there was some sort of story about, I don't know all the details. It just sounded like she was saying, because I was hearing that distance voice through the phone, that it was something like she saw it on the floor at their house and just stuffed it in the purse real quick because of the kiddos, and then she forgot that it was in her purse, and it was just I don't know. It's like only us, you know. It's just, oh my gosh. But the funny part is, I'm like, why would my sister bring it to my house? And I know she wouldn't do anything, because where they stay is usually in our basement here in the craft area. And there's no door at the top of the stairs, and the kids are everywhere. And I'm like, well, more power to you if you really try to do any hanky-panky while you're at my house. Yeah, I'm not stopping you. But it was, I don't know, it was just a funny family thing of, who does this belong to? I told my mom, I'm glad it's just unopened, it's not used. I joked with my mom about how it must be hers, and she's like, I don't need this anymore. I'm like, well, Mom, you never know. So it was just, I don't know why I'm sharing this story with you, but I just thought it was kind of funny. I always joked with my mom that I was a virgin until I got pregnant. And she's like, oh yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, she's like, I don't know. It's crazy. I joked with my sister, who was my maid of honor, and she was 17 at the time. And so once she got married, she had to sign our marriage certificate. So once she got married, I joked with her about how she's the one that authorized that I could have sex. Now, I know you know, I decided not to try before I buy. That was my moral standing. And so I was joking with her of that she was the one that authorized that I could have sex, just to gross her out. She was like, ew, I don't want to think about that. I'm like, hey, you're the one that signed on the dotted line. I said, without you, that signature, it wouldn't be legit. So, I don't know. I like teasing my sister. She's a good sport. Love her to death. I have lots of stories I could tell about her and I growing up. We're 4 years apart. We love each other dearly, but we are complete opposites when it comes to how we handle life, how we view life. The one thing we are a lot alike is that we love and are compassionate about people, and that we care about people, and we would do anything for somebody. And she is such an amazing woman. I'm so proud of her. I couldn't ask for a better sister. I really couldn't. Oh, these X's are everywhere. It's like I thought I could get them under control, and they're like, nope, nope, I'm going to pop up some more. Here's some more over here and some more over here. Okay, so those X's are under control. We're going to go over here to this area. I just love how this artist merged all these colors together. It's a rainbow tree. Excuse me, my chair's all squeaky. It's a rainbow tree, and it's just, it makes me happy. And during this time, I needed something that was colorful, that was full of life, and just helped me feel good. And what I like about this is that there's color blocking, and I'm going to zoom you in. So there's color blocking throughout here, but there's also confetti, so you feel like you're getting a good picture when you're done. You're on a gooseneck, so every time I touch it, you're gonna bounce, but hopefully a WIP N Chat is where you're working and lurking and doing your own craft. So I plan on doing a temperature blanket. I have my yarn, I'm all ready to go. I'm doing it, what is a temperature blanket? Rebecca over on Crafting Journey, she explains it really well. Basically, it's where you pick out a color key. So I'm doing it in 10, because we're in Michigan, we have 4 seasons. So I'm doing it in 10-degree increments, and we're Fahrenheit. And so I'm doing -10 to 0, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, all the way up to 90. If we get over 90, I'm still going to do the 80 to 90 because we only have like 3 days a year that we get above 90 usually. And then what you do is every day you pick whether it's going to be the high or the low. I'm picking the high, and that's the temperature. Like, so if the high January 1st is 5 degrees, then I would do the 0 to 10 color. I'd do 1 row. And then the next day, if it was 11 degrees, I'd do the 10 to 20 1 row. I've decided to not do single. I'm actually going to do a double single. So you do a double 1 stitch and then a single 1 stitch, and it creates a rose. Anytime I've made a blanket like that, everyone's loved it. It's soft, it's nice and warm, and it really shows off the yarn. And so I plan on doing that. I have done a single. I'm actually sitting on one right now. People are really surprised. I do crochet, but my thumbs started really having some arthritis in them, and so it was hard. I was crocheting hours at a time. I never stopped. When I jump into a craft, it's 100%, and I just couldn't do it anymore. And so I stopped for a while. Right now I'm making dishcloths, so people for Christmas are going to get dishcloths that match their kitchen colors from me. And I'm excited to be crocheting again. I do enjoy it, but I still love diamond painting. What I crochet is kind of like in my bed craft. So if I want to go rest and just kind of not be sitting in my craft chair, then that's what I do. I crochet. Like concentrating on where are these X's. Now I'm in the part where they're just a little bit here and a little bit there. They're getting lost in the other colors. And as soon as I'm like, oh, I got that part, then another one pops up. A tip that I have for you guys is before you put away, now I'm not doing it tonight, but I usually have 2 trays going at a time. And when I'm done with the X's, I will put this aside and do a new color. And when my brain starts to be relieved of looking for X's, and maybe I start looking for L's, if an X pops up, I can pull right from this tray. And then when I'm done with the L's, I put this up, I put the X's away, and then I, maybe put C's. And so then when an L pops up, I grab from here. And it's a nice little tip. I'm not using it tonight necessarily, but it's a good thing to do, and it's what I normally do. Yeah. All right, so we are at the 30-minute mark, so I am actually going to say goodnight to you guys. I'm going to finish up these X's, then I might go take a warm shower and go to bed. So I love you all. Thank you for hanging out with me, and until next time, be blessed, take care, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.